I'm Mary Beth at the Law of Attraction Club on the web at theloaclub.com. If you're on the conference line, remember to press *6 if you have questions or comments. If you're on the Hangout on air, this is our summary of the theme for the week. Our longer discussion continues each week on our conference line on alternating Tuesdays or Thursdays. This week it will be on Tuesday. You're welcome to join us. And after this introduction, you can join us as well on the conference line. Use your number on the screen. Robin will be bringing through Tara for us today. And so we welcome Tara and Robin, and over to them.
Welcome. Last week we explored the idea that you can't answer a question until you decide from whose perspective it's being asked. This week we'd like to explore with you the purpose of your life, and we'd like to do that from two seemingly different perspectives: the cosmic perspective and the you here and now perspective. From the cosmic perspective, when you understand that you're not here to do any particular thing, you begin also to understand that you can do anything. And to extend that in a way you may not have thought of, you can do everything. From the you here and now perspective, when you give up on your should do's and must do's, you begin to free yourself up to do whatever you want to do. Let's first spend some time here taking the grandstand view, the cosmic perspective. This week from Mike Dooley and the Universe, a cosmic perspective. You are not on earth to make things happen. You are not on earth to spread the love. You are not on earth to make it a better place or to learn acceptance of the things you cannot change. You are not on earth to find your soulmate or your purpose. You are not on earth to put the needs of others before your own. And you most certainly not on earth to suffer, pay penance, be tested or judged. You are on earth because you wondered what it would be like, even fleetingly, to believe in limits. And when you can grasp this, you will also grasp how unlimited you truly are. Amen. And we would add a little to those words, you wondered what it would be like even fleetingly to believe in limits. Because this is the crux of it all. When you play a game, any game, you do it for the fun of it. You mix it up with your friends. You make decisions. They make decisions. You try new things. It's exciting. It's an adventure. And the game has limits that you call rules. Without rules, the game doesn't exist. So here you are in the game of life on Earth. What Mike's universe is describing here as limits are the rules of this game. We would say that you did not set out to even fleetingly choose to believe that anything about you is limited. But as with any game, you chose to accept those limits because that's how you play the game. In other words, you've created this game and you've stepped into it to mix it up with others in this special context, to create new things from this very focused perspective. And along the way, some of you forgot who you are and started believing in the solidarity of those rules and limits. You start being absolutely and literally unrealistic by analyzing the very game you created as if it's somehow external to you and you just have to learn how to deal with it. From our friends Abraham, another cosmic perspective. What is the reason you came forth into this physical experience? you wanted more. You wanted more exposure, more opportunity, to have more feelings. So the meaning of life, it sounds strange to say it, but the meaning of life is life. It's to feel life pouring through you, to feel the exhilaration of a new idea coming to fruition, to feel yourself not right on it and then work yourself until you are on it, to have a new idea occur to you and to recognize you are not a vibrational match to it, and then to deliberately become a vibrational match to it. All of that is fun, and all of that is life. So the meaning of life and the reason for life is for the thrill. From our friend Bashar. The highest purpose of your life is to be yourself to the best of your ability and live each moment as fully as possible. At first, these words from Abraham and Bashar sound a bit like circular definitions, but here's what they're getting at. At the core of your being, you're a creator, and there is therefore nothing possible that's more joyful than the experience of simply bringing new things into existence. And there's no better place to do that than this focused space-time playground. Here's some more words from Bashar in relation to your quote-unquote purpose. He's talking about two important concepts: the role of your emotional guidance system and your higher self. Excitement is a quote-unquote sign that the activity you are contemplating is aligned with your higher self. And this alignment is what causes the excitement. This naturally leads you to what you are, quote-unquote, meant to be doing, what your soul, quote-unquote, hopes your free will chooses to do. This is your, quote-unquote, purpose. So this is the simple yet effortlessly effective way to find your life's purpose. Excitement serves as a compass to let you know when you're on course, when you are doing or contemplating doing exactly what your higher self would just love to have you be doing. Let's pry this apart a little here because it contains some important concepts. Is there really a higher self somewhat separate from you, making separate decisions about it wants you to be and do? We'll go into more on this shortly, but the short answer is no. With each choice, the here and now conscious thinking you has ever made, you've added to that tapestry of expectation that defines you and your world. Remember that being physical, you tend to see things in boxes with borders and boundaries, whereas non-physicalness is a boundaryless realm. So there really is no separation between you and that tapestry and your higher self. What your higher self wants for you is simply to have everything you've already put on your wish list. Your quote-unquote purpose is to create whatever it is you want to create. And then you've already made some decisions about what that is. When you're heading in that direction, you're excited and having fun. In other words, the more aligned with the essence of who you are, the more joyful and alive you feel. The less you're aligned, the worse you feel. Your feelings in that alignment are synonymous. If you're fulfilling your purpose, you're feeling good, and vice versa, which is why we always say, nothing is more important than choosing to feel good. So that's the view from the cosmic perspective, from the grandstand. Now take a moment here if you can without diving back onto the field, and you can if you believe you can, and let's look at you from a here and now perspective. And when we started, we said, when you give up on your should do's and must do's, you begin to free yourself up to do whatever you want to do. Just recently, one of our members was talking about where she was and didn't want to be running her business, and where she really wanted to be, in a different country with her son and grandchildren. And we made the outlandish statement that both of these places were the same thing, and that if she could have the time of her life being where she was, she would effortlessly be wherever she wanted to be. What on earth were we talking about? If you're a timeless consciousness, and you are, and if you've chosen to be here to create new things in this focused realm, and you have, and if your circumstances do not dictate how you feel, and they don't, and if it's how you interpret your circumstances that dictates how you feel, and it is, and if your interpretations are a here and now choice, and they are, and if you're feeling bad, you're heading away from what you want, and you are, then we say, if you're feeling bad, choose to interpret your circumstances differently. And if you do, what happens? Firstly, the better it gets, the better it gets, which is to say, every small choice in that positive direction makes a huge difference. You literally step into a new version of you. And then automatically, by law of attraction, poof, a new matching version of your context wraps itself around you. And off you go again, but from a new starting place. As you journey down that road, you start having the time of your life wherever you are. It doesn't mean that you give up on that new country and the grandchildren. It means just the opposite. It means literally that you step into a context that has everything you want. So how can that now country and the old job possibly be the same context as the new country and the grandchildren? We say, stop. Get back off the field and into the stands. We say, stop with the hows. How is not your job. The extent to which you cling to the notion that the world is out there and you have to deal with it is the extent to which you hold yourself apart from who you are and what you want. The extent to which you perceive that the rules of the very game you invented are somehow now ruling you is the extent to which you condemn yourself to rowing upstream. When you're at peace with where you are, you can go anywhere. When you're choosing to have the time of your life being where you are everywhere you ever want to be. And yes, maybe it sounds a little crazy, but you'll discover your children and your grandchildren have somehow been miraculously caught up in this tornado of yours, and wherever you are, you're all dancing together. It's the difference between putting up with where you are and struggling on to choosing to be in joy. It's the difference between yearning for things wanted and choosing to be deliciously aware that everything is racing towards you in miraculous ways. Now, you don't have to quit cold turkey your should-dos and must-dos. We're not advocates of the jump and the parachute will appear approach. Just be easy with all of this. Be easy on yourself. Simply start to appreciate everything you can about where you are. Be obsessively compulsive about it. Become a Pollyanna about life and take a stand on choosing to feel good. Make yourself a promise now to give up forever on the notion that circumstances control you. And when you do that, Doors will open before you that you never knew existed. And we will be there every step of the way. You only have to write our name into your dance card, and when the music starts, and it will, we will be there. And now we move to our longer discussion and your questions.
This Hangout on Air was a summary of our theme for the week. Our longer discussion continues now on our conference line and on Tuesday evening this week. Use the number on your screen to join us.